Hey guys, it's Saturday the 12th of September and we're going to do a Q&A. I'll get through them as quick as I can, so we'll work from the freshest ones backwards, and obviously you're welcome to hang around as long as you like or leave as soon as you like. I'll start off quickly at the start, just answering some questions. So all the really important questions people have asked on the comments on our channel, we're going to go through and quickly answer those. Some may have been answered, so please, if you answer questions, go back and have a look in case I have replied, and please give it the thumbs up so I know that you got it. Otherwise I'm kind of wasting my time and maybe we won't do it anymore, which means you don't need to ask questions. But every now and then when we've got time like now, we've certainly got time in lockdown to do this Q&A. So I'll just grab a device. I'm just going to be sitting down here close by and we'll get the ball rolling. Got the tablet here, so I'm just sitting here. And I'm also proof watching some new videos that may or may not be released yet. So I'm going to kill two birds with one stone. I'm going to watch that. What I normally do is go through and all the comments are held for review until we put them out there. Obviously, if there's any carry on, any swearing, anything like that, they're the sort of things we're not going to allow. We're just going to keep it clean. So starting at the top, I'm just going to refresh it now, providing the internet works for us and all that, which at the moment we're all good. Well, are we? Yep, here we go. So the top one here. Hey Anthony, great vid. Any chance of doing one where you change the transmission filter as well? That was the automatic transmission oil change video. The answer is most likely no, because there's no need to change the filter, so we won't be doing a video on that. Next one, solar charging information, one that I released not long ago today. It's already got a few comments. They look a bit complex. Good information, Anthony. One thing is your leads may be a bit long. All I want to say to that is the leads aren't long because the charge is getting 14.7 volts, which confirms the leads aren't long. We've done a lot of testing with shorter leads, longer leads and whatever. It's all good. And yeah, no, there's no issue there. 14.7 volts on that, on the one going direct to the battery. But other days, the same setup won't get you that while the other one's still charging. And I noted in one of the other comments, someone said, oh, and it's not TJM, it's projector. You're saying it's in float mode. It's on 13.5 volts. So there's three stages of that charger. When it first comes on, it's at the 14 point whatever usually, then it goes to about 13.5, and then it may even drop lower than that. But what I'd like to say there is, I want the battery to charge even if there's not a load on it. I know what you're saying, you have to put a load on it. How stupid is that? When you start your car, the alternator charges the battery regardless if there's a load or not. That's what I want to happen. The battery's not full, I want it to charge. So in my opinion, that's not ideal, that software in the projector. But I hear what you're saying. You've said it's a complex thing, solar charging, DC chargers in float mode, because the LED's not flashing. Yeah, I get you with that. And there was a few weird things going on with the lights with that setup as well. But look, it works really well. The solar with the projector charger works really well is what I wanted to say there. Fairly long comments. Look, the short ones we'll try and get through and we can answer the questions. I had exactly the same King setup, brought some Victorian MFV chargers, yeah. So there's other things you can get. I was just trying to point out that with the King's panels, with exactly the same setup in different places on site and whatever, sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. They're unreliable. The charge regulator, sometimes you get that 14.2, 14.5, 14.7 volts, which is what I want to see when the conditions are right. And in the exact same conditions, sometimes we see 12.8, 13, and that's about it. It just doesn't make sense. So that's certainly unreliable. Hi Anthony, the projector isn't actually charging at the moment when, yeah, we said that. I understand what you're saying. Put some load on it and see what happens, yeah. I know, but I want it to charge when there's not a load on the battery because the battery's not full. When I connected it, it was only on 12.7 volts. It was only about 80%. It should know to charge the battery without a load. I want to get it full before I put the load on it. So neither of them are really satisfactory. Okay, on the $24 new engine Australia. Hi there, can someone please tell me how long does the brake pads last on a Toyota Hilux SR5 front and rear? Why would you ask a question that's completely off topic on any particular video? Anyway, if you want to know answers to questions like that, get on our Facebook groups. That's a good place to ask those sorts of questions. Best size wheels and tyres. Thanks for mentioning all about the mental health. That was that's all right. We'll move on that one. It's all covered in another video. Sensational, great videos. Skip to the end for his answer, folks. Some of us ain't got time for story time. Appreciate the videos though. Story time. There is a bit of story time, but it's all information, important to some. So we'll keep doing that. So yeah. What Mummy said was, if you haven't got something nice to say, don't say anything at all. Skip to the end for the answer, but that's the final answer. Quite often the final answer's in the first few minutes or at the end, but there's a whole heap of information explaining why that answer is, because if you just get the answer, and then you go across on the internet and you get a different answer from someone, you're going, well, yeah. So I like to give the information so you understand why, okay? So that's what that's about. Watch the whole videos, guys. Okay. Hi, I can't stand it. Oh, this one's too long, so we can't read that one and go through that. We'll try and keep short questions, short answers, so that we get through a few. Hopefully we get to your question. Daryl, how do I read my Prado? Mine's a 2003 120 series, first month of this shape, standard OBD2 read does not work. Okay, you've got a 1KZ 120 Prado, don't read it. There's not much to read anyway, don't worry about it. Don't worry about reading your ECU or your DTCs until you get into the more technologically advanced vehicles like the common rails, in this case the Prados. Anything with a 1KD onwards, it should work. Should work. I'll cover myself saying should, because sometimes things don't work. Okay, 4x4 snorkel fitting. Insurance won't cover vehicle damage if deeper than factory specs for water forwarding 700 millimeters. Air filter is higher than that, so no excuse, it's not a boat. Agreed. Yeah, okay, cool. Agreed as well. Beautiful. Glow plug detail. Another informative, energising, entertaining video, Dr. Anthony. Bada boom. Yes, we did double clamp the radar over her blood that day. That must be, yeah, okay. Taz Rocket. That leads me to think it's someone from Tasmania, but anyway, have to be another comment on this video with your real name, just so I know who it is, because I don't know, Taz Rocket. Yeah. What's the Taz Rocket part? Anyway, a few comments. Just looking for some questions. New Prado owner here. This is such a brilliant idea, mate. Love your work. Very informative is the next comment. Next comment. Oh, you know, the compliments are awesome, guys. Thanks for that. Keeps me going. A few questions are good, but try and keep them short. Short question, short answer type thing. Then when we do this, we'll try and get it done. I'll try not to be too long. Okay, if I wanted to purchase a brand new 1KD, 2KD engine made by Toyota, where do I go? My dealer said they don't sell engines. Well, I don't know where you are in the world, so a little bit more information. In Australia, you can go to your local Toyota dealer, or even better if you come to me, because we can make $1 out of it. Make sure you get all the right stuff, the job done right, because getting the new long motor is that's half the equation, the other half is getting the job done right. So come to me for a recommendation if you're in Australia. Okay, unsealed 4x4 misinformation. So much factual information will cause my head to explode. I feel like we finally know the true nature of the universe. I was thinking to give the D4D a miss and go the V6, but now start to feel the information you are sharing can help make a better decision when looking to buy a 120 Prado. Great work, Anthony. Absolutely, that's the idea, and I'm not saying that either the diesel, the 1KZ, the 1GD or the V6 or anything else is for you. You need to read, listen and look at the information and make your own decision. Certainly the V6 is more suitable for some people. We've talked about that in other videos, so watch those. Just skimming through a few. Do you think, okay, here we go, here's a question I think. Do you think the lower kilometres ones would have lasted to the recommended change-out or would have failed? I think that was just-in-time replacement. That was to do with the injector seats. The lower Ks ones. Look, that's a good question. We don't know, and that's why, you know, the recommendation is still 170, but that's why I will only see. You can go by my guarantee. My guarantee is absolute, right? If I install injectors, or I know they've come from factory, I will personally guarantee the injector seats won't leak within 120,000 Ks, right? If they do, something's wrong, something hasn't been done right, okay? So, do I believe they would have lasted? Well, just remember the recommendation. it's 7 years or 170. So the low K ones were well over 7 years. So the recommendation is 7 years, not 170. Okay, so that's for Jason Duff. So there's your answer. I don't think they would have lasted, no. That's why we have the time and the kilometres as a recommended replacement interval. Okay, another comment on that video, $24 engine Australia. How good, I am not in the VIP group, Anthony, helped me with no payment when I was sourcing my latest Silver 120 Prado. I'd be happy to be part of this group and be happy to pay whatever the group agrees to. Great stuff. Well, the way the group works, it's a loyalty group, it is for clients, it's a VIP thing. So what you can do is, it's not a group you've got to pay to enter, but you do have to pay to enter or pay deposit temporarily. You can pay to enter. This is the deal, guys. It's $500 Australian to enter the group, and you can use that as a deposit for things like your injector kit, your big front engine kit, which is only $7.15 at the moment anyway, the whole lot delivered to your door, which is every 150,000 Ks. Everybody's going to need that sooner or later, right? Or you can use it for your front Prado or Hilux wheel bearings. It's a deposit, right? Or rather, it's not a charge, it's a VIP thing. But if you want to go in, the solution, the simple, so I've got to keep it simple, guys. All this stuff's very time consuming. The simple solution is, I don't want to have a fee, a yearly fee, and be dealing with small payments or a monthly fee. It's a deposit on the parts. We're going to keep it to clients. Then the clients have said, we want to keep this VIP. You know, they like it the way it is, right? They love it, actually. So if you want to be in the VIP, it's $500. But it's zero charge to be in there. It's part of your purchase. It's included. I gave you the information. You supported me paying the bills by buying those parts that I've professionally sourced, assembled, installed, and provided the information to do so. I gave you, you supported me, I'm supporting you back. It's a freebie, right? If you haven't done that yet though, it's the deposit thing, right? If you never do anything, well, I guess it costs you $500 for life. Up to you guys. If you're overseas, $500, sorry. I mean, it's just how it is. We've got to keep it simple. I haven't got time to sit down and analyse the best way to, the group's there for clients. If you want to be one, 500 AUD, just shoot me a text message with your full details and let me know what you want. As I said, best times is Monday morning, guys, for communication. Monday mornings, please don't text me in the afternoon, especially Friday. I don't like that. Anyway, trying to get things done for the rest of the week. Anyway, next one. Watch to the end. Thanks again for the info. Brilliant. Need a help? Here we go. Let's see what this one is. I've written, don't bother to do this. I think that's checking the blow-by. You don't need to worry about it unless you've got a problem, so don't do that. Someone needs a little help with it. 2013, 53,000 miles, 1 KD. Engine's always smooth, but 2 or 3 days. Started normal, but started to shake. Look, it's too hard. I can't do diagnostics. You're overseas. We're here. It's not enough information. That's why we've got the groups. If it's a 1KD, you join hashtag 1KD Forever Crew. It's on that piece of paper on that video there. So watch the videos. You'll find it. Put the short video. I've even got a video showing you how to make videos so that we can help you, right? Post the video in the 1KD group. It only needs to go for 10 or 20 seconds. I'll either get to it. Don't need to tag me in it. Just ask everyone in the group. Other people have got an opinion and experiences as well. If you want an answer from me and I don't get to it within a few days or a week, please be patient. Then you can tag me after everyone else has had a go at it. I'll come along and I might just press like on the ones where I think that's a good answer. These are from people that have been listening. If it needs an answer, I'll put an answer. If you see me press like no answer, it's because it's already been set above. Okay. And we're only 1 day ago, guys. I don't know how long we've been going, but we're 1 day ago. This is why I just haven't got, I'm demonstrating a couple of things here. I haven't got time to do, we're multitasking here at the moment. We're packing parts, it's ready to go Monday. We're proof watching videos, which we only just started to do recently. That's why we've got this set up here with internet so we can watch that, and you can see it's a bit slow sometimes. We can watch that in the background while we're doing other jobs. At the moment I was just ticking, publish for the comments. And I thought, you know what, we'll do a Q&A video. Anyway, how about a D4D Hilux thrust bearing video? Look, I don't know what you want me to show in the video. Clutches are a pain, they're old technology. They are really good in some circumstances. I just wish there was, the automatic transmissions are ideal. The Toyota automatic transmissions are awesome. I just wish there was some difference. Remember some of the older cars, when the electronics first come out, there was power and economy buttons. There was even some that had a 3-way button, power, economy, and auto. Sort of like, so auto was, it was the normal setting, and then when you went for power, it'd make it kick down sooner and change up later, and then when you went for economy, it'd be harder to kick it down. We need settings like this. Manufacturers, please. Toyota, your automatic transmissions are awesome, but the problem is the converter unlocking and the gear shifting. Can we please have a 5-way switch? A bit like your suspension switch that on the Kakadu that says whatever it is, normal, comfort, and sport. Except instead of going 3-way, let's go 5-way. Let the owner have some input. Then we'll pay you your $3,000 for your transmission quite happily. Let's have a normal mode. Let's have you can call it whatever you like, but let's have 2 going each way. So we'll have normal and 2 each way. I'd suggest you need to have what you've got at the moment is it's more of a sport mode. It unlocks too fast, the torque converter, it kicks down too soon. It's good at speeds under about 90 k's. Once you get to the 90 and above, because the engine's underpowered, the 1GD, it's just unlocking and kicking down too much. So my answer is, back onto the, meant to be talking about a clutch bearing. Yep, they're a problem, okay? Only get a manual if you're not taking it off-road. There you go. You get water in it, you get mud in it, you get dust and dirt. It goes into the holes in the bell housing, it gets in there, it messes it up. Maybe a bit of dust and everything as well. And it gets in the bearing. The bearings are noisy, they're a pain. That's why we don't do clutches. I don't want anything to do with manuals because they just come back to bite you again. Okay, I'll be quite honest. Stick with the autos and stick with the 5-speed if you can. It's an A750F, guys. It's in the 120 Prados or 1KD. It's in the 150 Prados and it's in the Hiluxes. The later Hiluxes, I think from maybe 12 or 13, somewhere there, they went to the 5-speed auto, 5-speed, okay? That's the recommendation. So yeah, there's not going to be a video on the thrust bearing. Yeah, it gets dry, it gets wet, it washes the grease out, it gets rusty, it gets noisy, it's a pain. The only other thing I'll add about thrust bearings is, get your foot off the clutch. While your foot's on the clutch, you're wearing the bearing, you've loaded it up. If you're sitting at the lights for a long time, put it in neutral, take your foot off. See the lights change, foot goes on the clutch, into first gear, foot off the clutch again. When you're driving, don't rest your left foot on the clutch. You're loading up and wearing the bearing. You could be doing the damage. Don't do that, okay? Maybe you didn't know that. I hope that's helpful. There's a couple of people that pressed thumbs up on that comment. How about a D4D Hilux thrust bearing video? No video needed, okay? Put the damn bearing in there when you replace it. Don't take it off-road. Don't leave your foot on the clutch. You won't have problems for at least 200,000 Ks, okay? Genuine parts. Right, next one. You are providing great information. Are you able to provide information in form of a movie or picture where to put EGR plate? It's probably in the video called Full Detail EGR Clean. I'm not sure, I can't remember. I did that a while ago. I never watched it. I just did the video and it's up there. I haven't watched it, not even here. I don't know, maybe we should start playing it now. Maybe we should show you how to search videos. No, we won't do that. That'll waste more time. We're trying to get this done. Okay, so yeah, there's definitely information on where to put it. Watch more videos, please. You'll find the information. Please don't ask questions that are in videos. You just need, if you watch 1, 2, 3, 5 or 10 videos and you like it and you've got questions, please don't ask. Keep watching. When you've watched all the videos and you won't catch up, we're going to put up about 1 a day. We've got heaps more, right? There's plenty more there. Plenty more coming. We've got 20, 30 years of videos to put up. I'll put up videos till the end, okay? Encyclopedia, awesome, genuine, authentic information backed up with why. Okay, there it is. Mate, love the videos, thanks for the info. Are the FJ Cruiser bearings the same? I don't want to say yes in case I'm wrong in some cases, but from what I understand, yes. The Prado and the Hilux and the FJ Cruiser share the same bearing. Are the hubs different? Yes. The FJ I think are the same as the Prado hubs. So the assemblies we sell for the Prado, hub bearing bolts and everything, my understanding is they'll be the same on the FJ. I'm not 100% sure, I'm 99%, maybe even 99.9. So if anybody needs a set of front wheel bearings for the FJ, let me know. We'll do a thing where I supply you a set, you fit them up and you can provide me the feedback and say, yep, they fit. Yeah, you can even contact me and we'll provide them to one of our 4x4 Diesel workshop partners. They can do the installation because they work on FJs. So we do have people that can work on FJs, so don't be afraid to ask that question. When you want a recommended repairer, you need to ask in the, so what you do is you make contact in the text message, you say, hey, I need a set of injectors, right? This is how you find your recommended repairers. You get your parts, right? Boom, you've got them. You're in the VIP group. So join the VIP group as soon as you pay for your parts, or pay your 500, right? In there, you can search and find information about the recommended repairers. After this, you know what? I'll do another video updating to who they are, right? Because we've got about 500 odd members there. Last time we did that, it was probably a while ago. Anyway, watch the videos for yourself. You may just decide to do it yourself. I don't try and convince you to do it yourself or not. I just want to help you avoid those. See those problems there? So those dirty seats happen to be right there in front of us. It's full of problems. There's good information to avoid it, and it shows you the problems. This is why we do what we do. See that? People that can't do their jobs properly. Okay. Anyway, so are they the same bearings? I believe so, but I'm not going to say yes in case I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure. Thanks, Anthony. I'll pass it on. Okay, Trev. Yes, I did a misinformation correction. I thought the article was written by Glenn, doesn't matter who, whatever. I just remember his car going on a tow truck, and I thought it might have been a cracked piston, but the more I remember, I think it might have been he had a clutch problem, but apparently the next to the picture, it says written by Evan Spence, so it doesn't matter anyway, all good. So obviously Evan's got a Hilux and he's had problems as well, so people have problems. Funny how they're not happy about it when they're all having these problems at 200,000 or 300,000 k's. We've probably been doing the wrong maintenance. But anyway, someone says the Prado Hilux community is so fortunate to have and for builders. Thanks, mate. No worries. Happy to help. And we're just going to try and spread the information and adapt it into other makes and models so that people can. This information, for example, see right there, you've got Denso injectors. They go in other makes and models of vehicles as well. Other injectors, even though they're other brands. You think they're not going to have a seating washer under them that's only going to have a certain lifespan? What, a Bosch injector under in a Mazda engine or something? Same sort of scenario. Things need to be changed. Now, I can't tell you what they look like, how long they're going to last, because we don't work on them. We can't do everything in a lifetime like some people claim to have, okay? We can do what we can do, okay? By the looks of the comments, that everybody was quite happy with that. Now, looking for a question. The Craig update, beware Devonport. Okay, looking for questions. Okay, someone says, it feels like I'm in a cinema. What video was that? 4x4 Diesel, May 2019 introduction. Short one, guys, check that out. So, just I was having a bit of a play, made a little introduction. I was thinking about putting an intro at the start of end of videos, people that get really professional with their YouTube channels. Not too worried about the professional side, it's reality, it's what it is. As I said, genuine, authentic information designed to help you. Okay. Just going through insurance, love your schooling, mate. Anthony, here you go. Someone's got a handy little tip. Let's have a look what this is. Hey Anthony, I found a handy little tip when doing cooling system bleeding on my 1KD. Whilst running the car with both the radiator and overflow caps off, I use my shock vac and the tool adapter that comes with blow pressure into the radiator bottle hole, keeping on the coolant level. Once fluid flows out the radiator inlet hole, okay, worked for me. Anyway, check out the comments, guys. Someone just putting their 2 cents worth, as he said, not me, about bleeding the cooling system. What I really like to do bleeding the cooling system is make sure it takes, if you've dropped it all out and it's well drained, you've done your big front engine job, make sure it takes 5 to 7 litres before you even start the engine. And you start pouring in as soon as you've sealed it up, put those hoses back on, okay? Then you're only bleeding out the last litre or 2, which there's no way the engine's going to cook or do any damage if you've got that much coolant in the engine. Probably even less than that, these engines will be okay, but I want to say clearly, I want to see at least 5 litres go in before you start the engine. I prefer to see 6 or 7. So if you pour it in and then keep putting things back on your intercooler, in your shroud, your cover, in your airbox, then pour it in and you work on the vehicle and then you pour it in, it'll get to a point where it does, and you've got to fill it right to the top. When you're bleeding, until it takes that 7 litres, fill it to the right to the top of the bottle. I'd rather have it to the top of the bottle and make sure it all goes in and bleeds in through that bleeder the other way to be above the thermostat, rather than you do some damage, okay? Overfill it if you need to. It's only going to blow out the excess. If you leave it overfilled, it's not going to damage it, it's just going to push the excess out. It's going to make some mess. You need to wash some water over it when you get home. I'm not saying to go crazy, I'm saying overfill it for the first 7 or 8 litres. It might only take 8 litres, so don't keep it above, you got to bring it up to B. What do you think the B's for? You reckon it might be for bleeding it? So anyway, Bleeding them works. I don't have any issues bleeding 1kds. So some other cars we worked on over the decades that have all sorts of airlocks and problems. They're a real pain and there's things you've got to do. And that's why we don't work on those crap heaps, okay? We just work on the good cars, good setups and things that work. Toyotas. Anyway, okay, how an engine works. We've got 3 videos, guys. One's how an engine works, part 1. Part 2, I'm not sure if it's released yet. We've also got part 3. Just trying to show you with a 1K engine right in front of us to give you the basics on how it works in case you don't know that and you want to know that. He said, thanks for taking the time to explain the basics, love your work. So it mustn't have been too bad a video. Would be worth watching. I've got a comment here on how an engine works, part 2. Is it the same person? No, different person. Another great vid. Any chance of doing a video like this on EGR system? I want to know if electronic disabling EGR is a bad idea. I'm going to stop reading through that one. Watch all the EGR videos we've been putting up for years, even in our Facebook groups, okay? It will explain, right, the operation of the EGR system, exactly what's going on. I've done it in videos a number of times. It explains the plate and the switching it off, the pros and cons, everything's there, as I said earlier in this Q&A. Please watch the other videos. Just going to take a drink for a minute, all right? Too much talk. Too much talk. All right. Who's still with us? Put a comment up. Hit pause, put a comment. Can you do that? Just say, mate, when you stopped and paused and had a drink of water, I was still with you. Anyway, let's get on with it again. Are you in WA? No. We're in COVID Central, Victoria. When is a pilot learn needed? That was what the video was called, because a lot of people were not sure when a pilot learn wasn't needed. The absolute, I'm going to answer this here. He put a comment there, but I'm just going to answer a little bit more. The way you know you need a pilot learn is when you put the compensation codes in. Let's say, for example, you do the injectors and you do nothing with the compensation, and you start the car and there's no engine lights, you're all good. Well, it means you haven't forgotten anything or stuffed anything up, that's good. Then you switch it off, you hook up your scan tool, you put your compensation codes in. If you start it up, no engine lights, and it runs well, and you're happy, good. You're not going to need a pilot learn, and that's probably, say, an 05 or older in Australia, 05 through to about September 09. Vehicles, Hiluxes and Prados, like all the 120s. If you start it up and you've got all these lights on and whatever, you need a pilot learn. You're going to find that September 09 onwards, pretty well everything. Anyway, so, hello sir, I've got a Nissan NP300. Should we keep reading this? Just telling them about noises and that. The words aren't clear. Look, you have to be... look, any reason why it blows smoke? There's replies there. I probably said because it's a Nissan. Wrong car, dude. You need to get a Toyota. No, in all seriousness, I can't quite understand your question. We've got other videos explaining in general why cars and why diesels blow smoke, and it's not just Toyota specific, so please watch those. We did a video on spring rates and compression about how it's a complete misunderstanding and myth about some of the information some people put out there, and someone put up perfect example. I did have a look at it. It was really good how, you know, in dirt bikes they talk about, you know, setting the preload on the spring and all this, but it's a bit different because in a dirt bike, when you jump, you're in the air and it's completely uncompressed. So you're changing the preload for when the bike touches the ground again, but the absolute height and everything is still got to do with the seat of the shocker anyway. So that's in the video. Go and watch that. Get yourself educated. Watch all our videos. Just an idea. Someone stayed to the end. Okay, now we've got a video called "Warning: Diesel Owners in General Meet EGR This." Cool. I don't know. I think I need to go and edit the name on that one. It's called. It says, "Warning: Diesel Owners in General Meet EGR. This is 1K FTV. Well caked and lots of important info." I think I need to change the name. That's chaos. Anyway, someone writes, "So once the EGR is completely blocked, problem solved? Question mark. No blanking plate needed." I think you're trying to be funny. But so, you've got to be clear because, you know, I'm trying to be a bit serious questions here. I'm reading serious questions. I've got serious answers. It is serious stuff. We're not going to muck around with too many jokes around the serious stuff because we don't want to confuse people like, good way, if you've got an engine that's losing compression and it blows smoke, a good way to fix it is pour some sugar in your petrol tank, around about 1 kilo for every 60 litres, because people will go and do it. So don't do that. Don't do that, okay? Oh, because as the fuel goes through, it will, here's another one. Same problem, it blows smoke because your compression's down, your bores are getting glazed. Go and put 10 tablespoons of sand in your engine oil. Don't do that. No, don't do that, because all the sand's going to get in the rings and go up and down the bore and rough it up again, and it's going to destroy your engine, okay? So these are the things you don't do. I don't joke around about stuff like that. So serious question, guys. Try and make it really clear, really short when we do Q&A. I'll get better at skipping through a lot of this stuff. You can go and read the comments yourself after all. My job is to find some questions. So I'm just going to go, look, we're only 3 days ago, guys. You know, I probably haven't done this for a month. So that's why I'm going to put the date on it when the video starts, and it's only going to go back a few days, or I was hoping to get at least a week back, but we're 3 days. I better stop talking anyway. Your videos are spot on. Yep, that's not a question. Previous owner, yep, okay, that's not a question. Hi Anthony, is there anyone in Brisbane you would recommend? Yes. So like always, you need parts, because the people that we recommend, we don't just recommend, we can't say on our YouTube channel, hey, go to blah, 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 right? If you want to hear a general recommendation, watch TV. They've got paid ads and all that, and you know. If you want the genuine information, I'm going to be genuine and tell you, I can't put a video on YouTube for 10,000 people to watch over the next few weeks, months or years, and everybody goes to that person, because it's small boutique workshops, 1, 2 person, maybe 3 or 4 small workshops that we recommend, that we know or got a fair idea at least can do the work right, okay? So I can't do that, because everybody wants to go there and there's not enough of them. When we've got enough of them, and I always say in these videos, if you know anyone you can recommend them. If you're in the VIP and you've got people, recommend them, let's talk to them. Hook them up with me. Get them to give me a text message and I'll make a call. We'll have a chat. If you've got people you think can do the work better than you, right? Better than you after watching my videos, let me know, because we need more. So the way it works at the moment is, you purchase your parts or you join the VIP group, that'll do it, okay? Then you can text, you can ask in the VIP, search in the VIP first, search in our Facebook groups first, search in the VIP group first. If you've well and truly searched high and low, you can't find, then you text me with your full name, vehicle details and your question. And if I know it's done, I'm going to say it's in a video, right? I haven't got time. Please save your questions, genuine questions, or personalise. If you're in the VIP, if you purchase your parts, you've done everything, and you've got some weird problem, they're the ones I'm going to help out. We're going to make the time to help out. Awesome customer service. There's no doubt about that. You can ask the people. So I can't just make the recommendations, but your simple question is, yes, I've got people in Brisbane I can recommend, absolutely. And things change, okay? So sometimes there's someone better. Sometimes we find out something about someone that changes and we're like, doesn't mean they're bad, they might be not so good, you know? Like, you know, there's no point wasting time going into examples, but you need up-to-date information, so check with the VIP. Say, who in Brisbane is the current recommendation? I'll eventually come along and answer it, or someone might say, well, a week ago, I asked Ant the same question and he sent me to blah, blah, blah. And then, so that's what you do, right? Up-to-date information. So we're not going to put it here because it could be out-of-date information. VIP information. Secret information. Next one. Okay, someone cracked a piston at 300,000 Ks on original injectors, and someone writes, wouldn't have happened if it had the V6 model. Wouldn't have happened, but a lot of things can happen to V6s and there's not many of them, they're a minority, there's such a small percentage, you know, the diesels, the 1K diesel are like well over 90%, the V6s are well under 10%, we're probably talking 2%, but they still have a heap of problems. You don't hear about it much, because I said they go quiet, but there's a number of problems. They're both good, really good engines, they're all good engines, they've all got their pitfalls. As I've said in other videos, it's about understanding what those pitfalls are. So a comment like that, it's a bit silly, because, you know, there's a lot of issues with the V6 that wouldn't have happened if it was the diesel, you know. And after all, the diesel overall, with servicing or just fuel taken into account, either way, much cheaper to run. So, happy days, depending on your use and how many Ks a year you do. I really like how the ends of the tubes are covered. Someone's talking about the fuel pipes. That's how they come in sealed bags with sealed tubes. I suppose it doesn't matter too much, but it is imperative that they're clean. There's no filtration after then. You've got to be careful what you wash them with, what you blow them through with, what's in your compressed air. Is there dirt? Has it got a filter on it? Is there moisture in that air from a compressor, of course? So these are things you need to take into account. New pipes should always be capped. and old pipes should be carefully cleaned and dried and capped. So just think about that. You might even want to run some fuel through it first before you fit them if they weren't capped, to at least have them wet, and that clean fuel will push through any debris, moisture, whatever. After you clean them and blow them, you might just put a bit of fuel through, if you know what I mean. Little syringe, oil can, rather have a bit of oil pushing the moisture out. Not that that much moisture is really going to make any difference. As long as you're fitting them up and you're going to get the car running that day, next day, the oil of the fuel will push it through before there's any corrosion or issues started. So, okay. This guy Paul, he's got a lot of comments lately. Don't quite agree with everything he says, so we'll just leave that one alone. There is a question. Too long. Okay, next one. Working through, watching your videos for a while now. It's very informative. My name's John. I was wondering how much an injector kit for an 07 cost me. Doing around 320Ks. Yeah, well overdue, you're right. As I always say, for pricing on injectors for any parts purchase, the way to do it is you send me a text message with your full name. That's first name, surname, vehicle details. That's what it is, Prado or Hilux, what year it is, how many Ks it's done. Then I've got a bit of a picture. Let me know what your inquiry is. Please keep it short. Let me know where you are, what state, what suburb as well, perhaps. Maybe your postcode. If it's suspension, definitely your postcode, because we're going to want to organise a freight quote and stuff like that. It's done a bit differently to flat rate bags like what you see on the bench there for all the other gear. So yeah, send me a text message. We'll answer that question. And the answer is the injector kits, so injectors, pipes, seals and gaskets. Anything from that through to add EJAR gaskets, Molykote, Ultra Grade, Dow's, Crow's Foot. Did I say all the EJAR gaskets, the map filter, and other bits and pieces can be added. Look, budget, anything from $2.5 to $3 grand is the best ballpark area. It varies from vehicle to vehicle what injector. Some of the injectors are a little bit dearer, some are a bit cheaper. That was a red light. Got him. See that? Yeah, you got him, red light. Anyway, so yeah, you just need to text me for that one, and depending your specific details, I'll have an answer. But to give you an idea, and I'll just mention, there's been a few people around lately going, oh, some people have had quotes of $2 grand. I haven't seen that lately, but some people have had that. Some people have quotes of high twos up to $3,000. You've got to ask yourself the question, how do you supply brand new genuine injectors, all the pipes, seals and gaskets genuine, and the right job for that sort of money? Now, you got to ask yourself the question, if it's too cheap, is it too good to be true? Anyway, that's for you to figure out, okay? I can explain what all the parts are, and I don't think I need to. I sell all day, every day, right? They go out, people know. I've had quotes from Toyota, you know, people know we're good value for money, we provide the information and support better than anywhere else in the world. So, take it or leave it. That's the answer to your question, though. So, I'll give long answers, information. All right, love your work. Someone had smoke issues, blah, blah, blah. Hasn't had any smoke since. Okay, so we better read this one. Jared says, I had smoke under heavy acceleration, bad enough that I could see it in my mirror. When I did the BFE kit, I completely removed the intake and cleaned it. Wasn't too bad anyway. Also fitted a 7mm plate to the ERG, but he means EGR. I haven't noticed any smoke since. Well, this is the thing. Sometimes what happens is, as I'll explain in videos, the soot cakes up in the EGR cooler, and it's dry and powdery, you're driving around slow. When you boot it, look, I'll give you a best example from my experience, and that's when I had a new Hilux in 2011, brand new Hilux, and you'd be driving just like this, and you see I'm not the fastest driver on the road, especially in a diesel. They go fine, but the sports cars can go faster, no problem. But driving at night, you know, looking in the tailpipe, there was heat. It was an absolute mess in the tailpipe. We're talking about a brand new vehicle, a pretty good system. The 11 Hiluxes didn't blow too much smoke. I'm just trying to remember what, I think it was late 11. It probably, no, it would have had DLCs, but it might have. There's always a chance, but probably not. But the injectors would have been good. We're talking about a brand new vehicle, guys. Like, bang, drive out straight away within the first 10,000 Ks. Noticing this dozens of times at night, the smoke in out the back, and plenty of it. And I sort of went, well, and it's obviously the more you push it, the more it blows out. And it almost looked like that really fine black dust type stuff you see, that soot you see caked up in your intake and in your EGR coolers. So my theory was, if you can have that, and then you can have a 120 Prado like what we're driving here now, with a clean intake and EGR system, with a EGR flow reduction device that reduces that EGR soot in place on all these sorts of vehicles, and you can rev them hard when they're warm, and you can drive them softly, or you can drive them. Look, I promise you, when I look in the tailpipe of any of the, the ones I get to drive at night, 120 Prado, I can't see any smoke. Even if I push it harder, there's no smoke. There's nothing to be seen. And I'm quite proud of the 1KDs being able to do that when they're not fully messed with. Yeah, so the explanation is, a lot of that soot from the EGR system just blowing through out the out the tailpipe and giving you that cloud of smoke. So, a few compliments. Telling me I've confirmed things, phone written years, telling me, a lot of compliments. Just looking for questions. Short questions. Can you explain about a contamination check? Here it is. Yep, when you buy your injector kit, what you do once you install your injectors, you send them back, the old ones, as fast as you can in a small red bag. Costs you 10 or 15 bucks if you do it right. And you put your injectors into one of the old dirty injectors, give them a wipe, put them into a clean bag that the new injectors came in because you've done the job and all that's sitting there. Bang into the bag, and you wrap them up in some of the clean bubble wrap. And any good clean bubble wrap we sent you, let's recycle it. Send it back to us so I can use it again. And instead of putting it in landfill, please send us back all the red caps, the crow's foot, the dowel. It's all things you're not going to use again for at least 5 or 10 years. We need them for other VIPs, please. Send it all back to us. What we do, we unpack it. We put obviously those things into stock to send to the next guy, and we strip down your injectors and do a free contamination check. There's a bit of information about that, more of that on YouTube now. It's more of a VIP thing. Every now and then I'll do a video and show the VIPs. I might have 4 sets of injectors stripped and go, compare these or whatever. I wasn't doing too much of that on YouTube, but because you asked, there's a couple of videos lately where I've demonstrated the seats and the injectors and how long they last and don't last and why and all that sort of thing. So can I explain it? I hope that's explained. It's a free contamination check for people that return their injectors, their old injectors, So I asked, should I get a bit crazy and start swearing like other people do on their YouTube channel? One answer I've got there is, keep it clean, Anthony. Sometimes I watch your videos with my children. Absolutely, that's what I'm thinking. Every now and then, if I slip one small swear word out because I'm reading someone else's reply, I apologise, but hopefully I certainly won't be using any of the worst words and use them in a way that's not nice. I'll be just repeating the other things. People, there's just no need to write it, guys. You can come and pick up your parts if you want. If it's the right day at the right time, you can bring me a slab of beer, or as you can see, Canadian Club black cans, 10-pack will do. We can have one of those each, and you can swear a bit if you like, and I might swear, but there's no need to write it on any of our groups or pages in the comments. If you want your comment to go up, as the teacher said, as Mummy said, if you haven't got something nice to say, don't say it at all. That's the sort of thing we're going to stick with. Makes sense, doesn't it? Why wouldn't you? It's going to make the world, everything a nicer place, better for the whole community. So let's do that. A lot of compliments. Great real world comparison. Thanks for the info. Someone says, which is the best hub bearing for Toyota Hilux? Year to go. Normally I use the genuine. Toyota bearing takes almost nothing. Yep, use the genuine. Then if you mean it's cheap, you must be somewhere overseas. You said it takes almost nothing. You must mean it costs almost nothing. I'm guessing that's what you mean. Yeah, if you're cheap, use the Toyota one. The Toyota, that's what I'm saying. Generally Toyota use good brands, but what I'm saying sometimes is they change brands. Okay, they change for this and that, and if we see one that lasts better and one that fails more, we will choose, for example, let's say brand X we like and brand Y seems to fail more, and they're using X's and Y's, and we'll go direct to the manufacturer and buy X. Just about all the genuine Toyota parts we buy, some of them we buy direct from Toyota, both locally, overseas. We've got a lot of different suppliers all over the place. A lot of them we do or can buy direct from the OEM manufacturers, like the water pumps. We can buy them brand new in a Toyota box from anywhere, all sorts of places, locally, overseas, whatever. We can buy the ASIN in that box. So you've got to be careful which one you get, some different options, and it's even cheaper. We're better off doing that. But sometimes we do like to provide support for our local Australian Toyota dealers, crazy as that might sound. So there you go. So it's a balance, guys. So what bearing? Buy it from us and rest assured you'll get the best option for the job. Next one, unspoken truth, very informative. A big fan, keep up the good work. Lots of compliments, guys. Thank you. I have an Optima Red brought as a cranking battery in March 2019. It's always sat at low 12s at rest from new. There's something wrong with that. That's not what a battery should be doing. An Optima Red should not be sitting at 12.1 from new. Either you've probably got something in the car that's draining the battery. A red top that's Will. I know Will. Mate, you need to know that it's a cranking battery only. It's not for deep cycle or anything like that. And if you've got winches and you're going to be winching, you're probably better off to have 2 blues or 2 yellows or whatever the case may be. Because I know you've got a winch and I know you like getting out on the harder tracks and I know you don't mind using it. It's not going to kill it, but it's not going to help things. And maybe this is the situation. Maybe you have done some winching and maybe it has damaged the battery. But you've set it from new. Low 12s, no. Look, my red top, it's over 5.5 years old. Let's do a little test. Right? Sit tight. I'm going to grab the battery test. I've got the 120 here. I'm going to grab that. Right now, the 120, it has not been driven for, we're going to use this, we're just going to quickly check the voltage. The 120 has got a red battery in it. Right, this is Q&A bloody full on this here. I've just connected it. This battery is not on charge and has not been driven. I'm pressing enter, I'm going to get you the voltage. Not connected, come on, I'll give them a wiggle, here we go. Alright, 12.5 volts guys, 12.5 volts. It hasn't been charged since it got parked, okay? It has not been charged since it got parked. That's mean like I haven't plugged in an AC charger. The fridge is off. I'm doing some R&D with the batteries to see what they're on because they are well past 5 years old, okay? We'll just keep saying past 5 years. When they get to 6, we'll say 6, but I know they're past 5 years old. They've been hammered. They've been looked after, but they've been hammered. But that red cranking battery, it is only that. It's only for cranking, okay? You can't deep cycle it. So I'll just leave that over there for now because I'll continue my little bit of R&D. I'll get back here and back to the device. So let's say a little bit more about that red battery. That, I believe you want to be seeing around 12.7, 12.8. In general talk, any good battery should be between 12.65 and 12.8 sitting there. So this one here, 12.5, not so good, but it's been sitting for, let me calculate. That vehicle hasn't been driven for, I'll say a couple of days. I don't know what day it was driven last. About 2 days ago, right? And what happens when the car's sitting there, you're opening and closing the doors, interior lights come on, this and that. You've got to make sure you've got nothing connected to that cranking battery. Even a UHF, if it's turned off, will have a small drain. All these little things have a small drain, and the best way to keep your batteries full, the only way to do it is to not have anything. And that is, you switch it off, you make sure your headlights and everything go off first. If you're sitting in the car, turn off your interior light, that'll use power, it's not leaving your battery full. These cars that the headlights turn off, you know, you got on auto and you turn your engine off and you get it, and the headlights stay on for 30 seconds, a minute, 2 minutes, not good, okay? It's not the best thing for your battery. It might be good for your follow me home lighting. If you don't need it, switch it off, turn your lights off. It's not the best thing. The best way to look after batteries, keep it full. That Optima Red, if you took it home and it was anywhere in the low 12s, it's not right, okay? It'll start your damn engine all right, no problem. I'll tell you why, because they're such a good battery, but it either got used, got drained, it was sitting, I don't know what it is, I don't know the full story, I'm just reading the comment. Will, it shouldn't have been low 12s. I remember with this one, I don't have a lot of experience with them because I only own one. I've only ever owned one Optima Red. It's right there. You want to start the car? Let's do this. Let's go start the car. You can have a listen. Have a listen to hear what it sounds like when it's been sitting there that long with no charge and it's over 5 years old. Does it go and be a bit sad, or does it go brum? Let's have a listen. And typically the diesel engines, I'll just add a bit more on the 1KDs, they might sound a little bit sad with a normal lead acid battery even after a couple of years. So I've heard batteries that are 1 to 2 years old that sound a lot worse than this red Optima in the last couple of years. I think it's getting down a little bit now. Let's have a listen. Okay, so you heard it. And what I want to say about float voltage, I'll just give you an idea as soon as it's connected. That battery right now, it's already down to 12.3 volts, okay? So wouldn't you think that that's charging? That's right, it is charging, right? It is charging, but what it took to start the engine, this is a good way. This is a bit of battery information for you as well. That's a good way to wreck your battery. Keep doing that. Let's do it again. One more time. It started really well. 12.26, right? It started really well, right? But what you're doing every time you do that, you're taking charge from the battery and you haven't run it long enough to replace it. So starting cars and stopping them without a minimum run time is another way to damage your battery, right? So just beware with that. I'll take a seat here. I've just had a bit of a look. 50 minutes, we're up there. Thanks for sticking around if you're still here. And if you didn't stick around, then you didn't get all this information, did you? So I'll just get around here and we'll have, oh no, I've accidentally bumped the wrong button. Oh no, we're back to here, all right. It was just a video. Okay, next question. We're going to call it very soon, so maybe an hour or something like that. Hi Anthony, can I contact you to upgrade my suspension N80 Hilux? Look, we don't do a lot of Hiluxes, so I'm not the absolute expert on it, but what I do with that is, yep, I'm happy to take your business. I'm happy for the support. I'm going to do a job just as good or better than any other Donaldson's dealer, and this is why. Because what I'm going to do, I'm going to do my own bit of research and go, yep, this is what I think it needs. And I'm going to speak to two of the best people in Donaldson's, suspension gurus, before we make that choice. So I'm going to decide, A, this is where I'm going to purchase your kit from, and it could be any Donaldson's branch, right? I've got a number of contacts. But then, and that decision may be based on, I like dealing with that person for that transaction. It may be dealing on, I like that to talk to that person about Hilux suspension, maybe to do with where you live and where we're getting it shipped to. But I'm also going to talk to number two, the second best person that I know. And I'm going to talk to them first. I'm going to say, hey mate, I've got Rob here, or whatever, whoever it is, say he wants a lift for his suspension, and I'm going to use all the information you've given me. I'm going to have made my call, and then he's going to go, I would use this spring and this spring. Sorry, drink for a minute. Too much talk. He's going to say, oh, I would use this at the front and that at the back, and I'm going to go, okay, no worries. And I'm going to try and trick him and say, oh, wouldn't that be a bit high and a bit low? We're going to discuss it. We're going to spend a few minutes on it. That's what you get for your money. I'm going to spend my time and I'm going to spend their time. They're getting money, I'm getting money. It's your money. That's to get it right, the service for you, okay? But please understand, allow time, because it's not something that I usually do. I'm very busy, so don't just ring today and hope that bang, it's going to be sent today, you know. It's not like this, you know. It is pretty well, sorry, I should say it is like this, right? Because I'm a now man, I do it now. I don't, you talk to me now and I'll get to that in a couple of weeks. No, I do it now, but what I'm saying is Monday's parts day, and it's getting to the point I can't fit it all in on Mondays, depending which Monday it is. Sometimes it's all right, sometimes it's not. It bleeds into the week, but guys, if you miss Monday, please try and wait till the next Monday, or make it Tuesday morning. Worst case scenario, when I'm trying to get work done on cars and other aspects of the business, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Friday's the worst day. I don't want to see now. I thought it was the internet. No, next video. I don't really want to be trying to organise stuff for you on Friday afternoon. Nobody wants to do that. I'll give you the tip. It's the worst time to contact anyone in business. Friday afternoon, they're trying to tie off loose ends, finish up. We don't want the 4:30 call, hey, I want a suspension kit or injectors or anything like that, okay? Please save it for Monday morning when we're fresh. We're burnt out through the week. We've had a break on the weekend, hopefully, or maybe we're doing Q&A videos. Anyway, it's all good. This is quite relaxing. I hope you've got nothing better to do and it's relaxing for you, and there's a whole heap of info for you. So, yes, you can contact me. That's the way I do it. If I can't get a hold of my people, then I need to call back or wait for a call back from them. You know, sometimes that doesn't happen. They're not as reliable as me. Please understand, guys, my reliability is 120% if there was such a thing, but I'm relying on other people, manufacturers, suppliers, to supply me. Now, my job is to be careful who I deal with and plan ahead so that you don't get inconvenienced, so that my customer service is good. And that's what I do, and that's what I'm doing right now, letting you know what to do. Help me help you. Okay, so If I can't get a hold of those people, we need to do another, and that's what I'm saying, it could be delayed. I'm going to do my best between me and those best people I know to get the right thing for you, which I believe is still better than going elsewhere. But if you want to go direct to one of them, you're welcome to do that too. So either way, I'm happy. I'm not fighting for the business, but I'm happy to take your business if you want to support me and you want to get in the VIP group for that added information. So I know, a long answer, wasn't it? But at least you got an answer, so I'll just give you the thumbs up. Okay, we've got a question mark here. Great video, Anthony. Were these two 2000 Ceratos automatic or manual vehicles? So that was to do with injector nozzles. My answer to that one is I don't know. Most vehicles are not manuals, just like most of them aren't V6s. There's not many V6s or manuals around in comparison to diesels and autos, okay? Most of what we see are diesels and autos. There are a few manuals. There's more manuals than V6s, ish, whatever, it doesn't matter. Not going to argue about that. There's certainly no difference in wear on injector nozzle parts. Funnily enough, we're talking that question here and we've got them up on the screen here. There's no difference between auto and manual, okay? It's not going to make any difference, so don't worry about that one. So no, I don't see any different wear when I compare, no. And you can imagine there wouldn't be. An engine's an engine, it's doing its job. The manual, the only difference is going to be what happens behind the engine. Okay. And the fuel economy in the engine because of the way things work. Anyway, I can hear the rain starting. I think we're up for quite a bit of rain this afternoon. Bada bing. This is such a bloody great channel. Thanks for all the tips. Watch till the end. You're a dude. And there's lots of dudes like that. Quite a few comments and compliments. Okay, a lot of thanks and appreciation. Mate, guys, I appreciate you for appreciating me. So there you go. It's all good, mate. We're on the same page, helping each other out, right? All I'll say is watch the videos. If you're watching now, awesome. Watch till the end. I don't know where the ads are going to... I haven't got time to sit there and worry about where the ads are going to be. What I can tell you is, though, if you watch my videos and you put more time into the videos and more time into letting a few ads play, even if you get your cup of tea and have a drink, you don't have to look at them. Just let them play. Let it sit on your bedside table and play all night, you know. Get me some more watch time. Make it look like you're watching some more ads. Maybe I'll get some more money. And when I get more money, I'm going to do more of this, more information, more videos, better videos, more time. All it comes down to is more time. If I can put more time into this for you and reach more people to help, then that's what I want to do. But I can't do this for $1 if I'm making $100 over there. I hope you understand what I mean. So more watch time, more videos, and more sharing, guys. Please, more sharing. Just share it. Share it to Facebook groups, you know, Prada groups, Hilux groups, other internet web pages, anything you've got, your friends in an email, a text message. You sure they got something better to watch? Because they probably haven't, especially if they own one of these vehicles or any vehicle that's got anything like it. As I said before, your house or your home might be your biggest investment, and we know your car's your second biggest, so it pays to know something about it. And cars are a lot more complex than buildings. Buildings are simple, you know, a bit of steel, a few bolts, some foundations, some concrete, some plastic pops and switches for your power and some plumbing. To me, I don't know, it's simple. This is the most complex stuff, and I'm not saying you can't go wrong in building. There's a lot of dodgy building going on as well, but that's another story. Moving on, hopefully that answered a question somewhere. I mean to be answering questions. Okay, that was a concern query as to when change the plan. Yep, okay. Great information. Now, in relation to the benefit of clean oil video, the 400 kilometre engine might have had an E-jar clean at some point. It absolutely did, and they both did. So the difference is, right, the 400k engine had 5,000k oil changes for a long time, and the 100,000k engine only had 10,000k oil changes, and for a long time it didn't have an E-jar clean. It did have an E-jar clean in the end, but you know, it takes, when all this soot's loaded in the oil, it gets worse. Every oil changer gets worse, and this is why, because you don't get all the oil out. So as the vehicle gets older and older and older, that engine is getting, it's filling up with soot, it's getting soot loaded, and the build-up is just building up. And you need a lot of oil changes to clean it out, to rinse it and wash it out, right? So you clean your E-jar, you put your plate in. We're not talking about it too much. We're just saying, you know, this is what people do. That's much better. But normal oil changes like 10,000, it will probably slowly clean it up. But Oil's everything. It's the lifeblood. Just do the 5,000 cut oil. You don't have to do the filter. You do the filter if you want. I don't care, but you don't have to do the filter. I don't do it on mine. There's no need to. I've explained that and reasons why in other videos. Someone asked what size roof tray did I buy. Roller website recommends 2 different sizes. That's a good question. I think our Titan tray is about 1600 long. I'll go measure it for you. How's that? Let me go and have a look. Grab a tape measure. Car's not far away, won't be long. I'm even jogging. Okay, the Titan tray is 1780, so it must be the 1800, okay? I believe most of all the trays are around about 1200 wide, and our Titan tray is about 1800 long. Is that right? I feel like double checking that because I thought it was shorter. 1800, 17 something. Anyway, if we're going to do information, we need to make sure it's right, don't we? Let me double check it. Will only take that long again. Yeah, I reckon it is 1800. That makes sense. Yep, 1800. Okay, I'll give you a little bit of information on those trays. 1800 is the perfect length. All right, 2100, it's getting too long. Okay. Now, people that have got a sunroof are grande because they need to be luxurious. You know, that's cool. Just mucking around. They probably want the 1500 so they can have their sunroof still, right? Personally, you don't need a sunroof, you don't need the leaks, you don't need the problems, you don't need the rattles, you don't need the squeaks, and you don't need the sun. Right? There's plenty of that when you're outside the car getting your skin cancer. But 1800 I'd go for, even if you had a sunroof, even if it's going to be in the way, because you just need that extra space. I reckon 1800 is awesome anyway. We've got slightly shorter on the 120. It's good, but that little bit extra space. I think 2100 is too long. You're just asking too much then, right? So in my opinion, 1800 perfect length. Let's get this thing and try and find some more questions. So 1800, I'll just do a quick reply if this works. I'll just go 1800. Sent, okay, right, so we did that. Did that reply, hopefully. Oh no, it's trying, internet, come on. Okay, next one, the Ryco filters surprise. You've got to watch that video. Ryco filters surprise, it's called. Yeah, good video, but anyway, it's not a question. Right, a lot of compliments again. The good news is it's like 70-80% compliments. Okay, do you have the link on how did you paint your rims? I'm pretty sure if you search my channel you'll see all the information. I'm pretty sure I showed what paint. It's the Dupli colour paint. You buy it from Repco or whatever. Retails about 20 bucks a can. I think I got it for about 10, 11 or 12 bucks, whatever. Thereabouts. I've brought a few cans, it varies thereabouts, and then who you deal with. So you should be able to get it for about that. Or wait till they've got a sale. You know how they do the 40% off? Well, that's why, because that's the real price. You know, they're just icing on the cake when you pay the full price. It worked really well. I'm still happy with that. I've done 2 sets of rims, one with the tyres off the rims, one with the tyres on the rims. They're both black, the paint's staying there. I didn't put the clear over the top. Why complicate things? Remember the KISS principle, keep it simple, stupid. So bang, painted, happy days. And if there's any scratches, you can touch it up, but I have not needed to touch up any of them. And the car's done 27,000 Ks between the 2 sets of wheels and tyres, no problem. Hit them close with a pressure washer, washing them, dirt roads with rock spray, whatever, it looks fine. So very happy with the DIY paint job. Next one, definitely someone, I said, do you want me to do long videos or short videos? Someone says, definitely long videos. I hope you're here watching this video because this is one of those long ones. Definitely long videos. Can I use the same steps in my 2007 automatic Land Cruiser FJ100 4.7 petrol? I don't know what transmission it is. So I don't know what transmission it is. Sorry, man. Oh, here we go. Glow plug detail. If it would turn into a good topic, into a great video if you just went to the point, eliminate the urge to just talk about nothing. I had a few comments like that. Not very nice, but I do take it on board. And I'm going to keep talking because a lot of it's information and people want to hear it. Okay. Does DPF ruin the reliability? I think ruins the wrong word, but the answer is yes. DPF reduces the reliability. It can cause you some dramas. If you're going to own one, you really want to carry a scan tool. If I take a DPF equipped vehicle into the outback, I'm going to take a scan tool with me in case I need to initiate a burn and do a manual burn or check any other information. And we have had the Prado put into customised mode so that I can at a certain percentage instigate a burn on the side of the road if I want to, but I don't believe that's the best burn. The best burn is at highway speed under load when you've got maximum heat, and it's not, they say any speed over 60, well that's probably alright, but really you want to be, in my opinion, you want to sort of be working it a bit to be able to get things naturally nice and hot and do a good burn. And I've got some experience with that, I just want to tell you. So what happens during lockdown ends up being, I don't want to leave the cars parked, you want to drive them, so they end up doing some shorter trips like 20k's instead of 200 or 2,000, right? The plan was to do them all 2,000 and 20,000 k trips in that car, but COVID's mucked things up. But you're lucky you get more videos instead of me being up in the Northern Territory in WA and all these sorts of things, North Queensland. But when we're doing longer trips, I noticed the DPF burn, it happens quicker, and it's not really further apart because it's programmed when to do it, but it happens quicker. Now, a few times I told you our DPF burn was getting interrupted, okay? Now, what I noticed on the time that I didn't interrupt the DPF burn, but I was forced the burn to happen, it's actually happened by its own choice in stop-start traffic, stopping at lights, stopping here, it takes longer to happen, okay? And the only reason it's quicker is because it goes, I've had enough of this, I'm going to finish and do it some other time. So it must have something in the software, and I don't know what the software is, but this is what it seems to me, right? So it's doing the DPF burn, you're sitting there at the lights and it's trying to push you through the lights, through the brakes, you're slowing down to go around the corner, roundabout, stopping on and all this sort of thing, and it gets its burn done. And then the last half, it sort of happens pretty quick. I reckon it gives up, right? And then what I notice is the next DPF burn comes around quicker, right? So the sooner your DPF burns come around, it probably didn't get a good burn last time. Now, when it gets a good burn, it must go to, it's about 300 k's. I don't know if it's per minute, per kilometre or per watt, but it's probably a bit over 300 k's, best case scenario, because that's the software, what they've got programmed to avoid problems, right? Where in our vehicle, maybe on a highway trip, you could do it every 500 or 1,000 or 2,000 k's, right? But it does it, all the stop start and the cold starts are much worse. They create a lot more soot, okay? And this sort of slow driving isn't going to do the ideal burn either, right? So what I noticed was when one of those burns happened like that, then driving the vehicle again, it didn't take long with short driving for that percentage, and it's not a percentage, it's a countdown or a count up to 100 before it does a burn. I noted that count up went quickly, okay? And I made sure this time that I was on a highway run in the right timing, and that's why it pays to know where your DPF's at. They should have a DPF gauge, just like your fuel gauge. It's really important they should have that. You don't drive around on your bloody fuel and then just have a fuel like you've got 20 k's left. You've got a gauge, it tells you what it is the whole time. Same with the temperature, it tells you what it is the whole time, doesn't it? Matters less than a DPF. We've got a temperature gauge for the coolant, who cares? It should just say cold, drive slow, normal, overheating. 3 lights is all we need, right? It's cold, drive slow. This light's, everything's normal, or just no light. There's just no light, nothing if everything's normal. And then a red light pops up if it's overheating. Why have a gauge? Doesn't matter. They don't overheat, they don't have problems. We need a DPF gauge so we know. Can we please make sure we're doing a highway run? Look, monitor the situation like you monitor your fuel. So you know when to get fuel. You don't just wait till the light goes on and then say, oh, where was it? Oh, I'm 100 k's from fuel. You monitor, you plan ahead a little bit. Well, you should anyway. If you don't, you should. Maybe it's something you need to get better at. But what I'm saying is the DPF should have a gauge on it. It's more important than the coolant gauge. Okay? Coolant could have a cold light and an overheating light, and the rest of the time you wouldn't see anything, like all the other systems. It's a traditional thing having a coolant gauge, but we don't really need it. Everything's normal, you know what I mean? There needs to be a warning. Engine's cold, take it easy, and a lot of engines and ECUs do limit, okay? You can't thrash a cold engine, right? I'll give you an example, right? The FG XR6 turbos, right? As prevention, you can't do it. It backs off the fuel and the gear shifts and everything. You can't, okay? You just can't. Once it warms up, it screams, okay? And right in the middle there, when it's cold, in cold weather. Yeah, you got to watch that one, especially on cold tyres. But that's another story. Yeah, we're getting to a bit of a chit chat here, so we're going to end it quickly. We're 1 week ago now, guys, so we've only covered a week. Does DPF ruin reliability? Yes, but not ruin. It reduces reliability. Do you make a plate for the one? I don't make plates, okay? Check eBay, and you can use a full blank, and as other people replied, you can use a full blank, or you can block off one of the EJ. Questions like that, it's good to have, you do that on our Facebook groups. And by the way, guys, you might be seeing some videos here you haven't seen yet. These could be some that aren't released yet. They may have been, these are all the newest ones, maybe going backwards from my uploads. So there you go. We've got a whole heap of information on coming as more people bring their vehicles for that fuel transfer sender gauge pump Venturi problem that some are having. It's a very small problem, but you can watch that video when it comes out. If you haven't already, subscribe, bell on, all that sort of stuff. Look, guys, we're about a week ago, right? It's still about a week ago. I think, that's kept you busy. That's kept you busy for a while, right? It's a bit of a bada boom, bada bing time. So what we'll do is we will get that video complete. We are at an hour and 10 minutes, guys. So I hope you enjoyed your hour and 10 minutes. As I said earlier, lots of information. If you got something out of it, please give us a thumbs up and some comments. Let me know. Do you want me to just keep going this way and just keep that maximum information chit chat kind of Q&A? Or do you want me to try and really skim through and only answer the one-liners? Now, if you guys put one-liners up, and I literally mean one-liner, if you put a one-liner, what colour's your Prado? Question mark. What size shoes are you wearing? Question mark. Whatever. I mean, serious questions, but if you make it a one-liner, I can skim through and answer, hey, I don't know, if I get that quick answer, one-liner question, one-liner answer is what it'll be. Do you want the one-liners? Do you want the quick one and we'll do 100 questions in 10 minutes? Or are you happy to, I'll try and get better at it, but are you pretty happy with this? Please, in the comments, give me a bit of a description of what you want. As I said, if you haven't already, please subscribe, turn the bell on. That was just the last week from Saturday, the 12th of September 2020. We could probably do this again and go back even further. It's going to be hard. I'll probably get to a system when I get all the work and everything under control. I'll get to a system where I'll have a set day and time, if possible, where I spend 20 minutes. How about a 20-minute video for the one-liners, and we'll call it, the weekly Q&A or something like that. All right, guys, thanks for watching. I'm out of here. Believe it or not, I have got some better things to do. Not a lot while locked at home, and it's all just work, really, isn't it? Maintenance, cleaning. I spend a bit of time with the kids, but they want to be glued to what are they doing, mate? One end we're making these videos, at the other end they're watching them, so, but not these videos. What are they into? They're watching, I don't know what they're watching, rubbish. Gaming videos. Get your kids watching this, guys. Get them educated. Anyway, I'm out of here. Bada bing, bada boom. I think I need a drink. See ya.